As Mr. Bridgen has now been expelled from the Conservative Party, I think there's some pressure on Keir Starmer to do the same thing to Diane Abbott, and he can't do it soon enough as far as I'm concerned. Diane Abbott overstepped the mark, and in a much clearer way than Andrew Bridgen. And like Andrew Bridgen, so far she's remained relatively quiet. She hasn't reached out to the Jewish community, and certainly not to the Jewish community in her own constituency, to apologise and contextualise what she said. Instead, she's defended her position by insisting again and again and again that what she did was to send a first draft. In fact, she says a first draft was sent or something. She puts it in the passive voice as if she was not responsible for it. Maybe she got an intern to write that letter. So she's inspiring other people to say these things. Let me just take one small example of what she said. She said that Jews were not forced to sit at the back of the bus. No, they weren't. They were herded. They were herded into cattle trucks for a 500 or more mile journey without food, water, or basic access to a lavatory. They were herded in wooden trucks on the backs of trains to a place where they were then taken out and killed. So yeah, not made to force and not forced to sit in the back of a bus. I mean, think about that. And think about, I lived and I worked in Diane Abbott's constituency for a couple of years. I worked in the Jewish community, indeed. I taught in a Jewish school. And I'm horrified by the comments that she made, as I'm also horrified by the comments made by Andrew Bridgen. But I'm more horrified, I think, when I think about it, by the fact that neither of them have seen fit to make amends, to explain, to apologise, to ensure that other people don't follow their example. It's the example they set which I think is so disgraceful. So if they can't repair the damage, then an example needs to be set of them, so that it is clear that these statements and these foolish notions are not repeated as gospel, are not taken as fact by others. And in the case of Bridgen, that was exactly what happened, with people parading with flags talking about a Holocaust vaccine or a vaccine Holocaust or whatever the rubbish is. It's just wrong. They're not doing their job properly. If they're not doing their job properly, they need to stop doing that job and go back to doing something else more worthwhile in the community. This is a privilege that someone is elected to serve their people, their constituents. And in the case of Diane Abbott, it's a large Jewish community and a large Hasidic Jewish community of people who are very, very much loved and very valuable to the community. And they need our support and they need our help if this is the MP who represents them.